So, some of you asked me, how am I doing it? Well, here it is, warts and all. One sec. Idris, Rafe, you better have started that work I gave you, and make sure you don't disturb me for the next 40 minutes, or there will be no iPads for the next month. The irony of being a teacher and not being able to teach your own kids. Oh, fuck. I'm late. At least the head can't walk in and go on about punctuality. There are some advantages to lockdown. Good morning, Year 10. Let's get back to studying tragedies. Seems like quite an appropriate topic with everything that's going on. Fucking typical. All they have to do is roll over and switch on their computer or their phone, which they're usually glued to at every other moment, but to actually try and get them to log on to a lesson. Oh, hello, Mina. I didn't see you there. Do you want to continue reading Hamlet while we wait for the others to log on? Even in the midst of hell, there is always one kid trying to scrabble out of the lost paradise that is Sherwood High. Mina Patel, a gold star in a dark sky. It's kids like that that give you hope and make you want the system to work. Kids like that, and obviously my own Rugrats. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. That's a great quote, Mina. It's probably the fucking education system. Why don't you analyse it? Owen, what time do you call this? Yes, I know it's 9:15. You're 15 minutes late. Mina, can you please work with Owen to answer the questions on the PowerPoint? The thing with teaching is that all anyone goes on about is the long holidays. It's a fucking fallacy. If you're not marking, you're planning, or you're reading up on some harebrained idea the government has to solve a societal problem, because they don't really have a plan. Terrorism, teachers. Shit, parents, teachers. Bad behaviour, teachers. Pandemic, teachers. It's always the fucking teachers. What other sector would get suckered into solving all the woes of the world? Certainly not Parliament. They couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery. And when schools do have to close, every parent in the country goes into fucking meltdown. If you can't cope with your lovely darling for a few weeks, imagine how we feel having to look after 30 of them for 40 weeks. You suddenly start to understand why Nurse Ratchet was the way she was. That was a reference to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, for those of you who hated English at school, or if you're Generation Z or a millennial who can only concentrate on something if someone is TikToking about it. I guess progress has to happen. Video kill the radio star. I'm beginning to feel like there is no salary worth all this. A few Saturdays ago, I was in Aldi and I started to feel envious of the cashiers as they scanned and I packed away my fruit and veg. It's a hard job, you can see it, but at least when they clock off, they clock off. You rarely get that with teaching. It is always on my mind, it is always on my mind. As I was walking out, there was this poster, this job advert, become a manager for Aldi. The salary, 45 bags, 45k, for those of you not down with the latest lingo. A teacher working for 10 years wouldn't see that. And if some arsehole is rude to you, you can chuck them out. If they're physically violent, you can ban them. You don't really get that with teaching. Ofsted will fail a school for excluding too many pupils. Fail the school. Not the parents, not the kid, but collective punishment for all the teachers trying to do everyone else's job but their own. Do you know the definition of teaching? Have you actually sat down and looked it up? So, teaching is the concerted sharing of knowledge and experience, which is usually organised within a discipline. the provision of stimulus to the psychological and intellectual growth of a person by another person or artefact. I'm not sure anyone has really done that since the 90s. I wanted to be a teacher because I wanted to be Robin Williams in Dead Poets Society. And that is the power and danger of a good story, ladies and gents. Schools become a glorified babysitting club at its least. And at its most, it's a device to ensure control of the masses. The rich opt out with fee-paying schools while ensuring they have a good supply of serfs. Yes, Mina. Why didn't Hamlet take action earlier? Bloody excellent question, Mina. Why don't you think about that? Why don't we all think about that? Why does Hamlet act so fucking late? Because even though he's Danish, he was written by a Brit. And us Brits are best at doing nothing when we should be up in arms and rebelling at the way everything is a mess. But we're just a bunch of Hamlets. All whinge and no action. Owen, why haven't you written anything? Because it's boring. Oh, I'm sorry, the most famous writer in the world isn't entertaining you, Owen, as he has everyone else for the last 500 years. You need to write something for your GCSEs to help you get into a good college or get a job. He has plans to be famous. Thank you, reality TV, for making celebrities out of stupid people and making our job 10 times harder. Sorry, Owen? I think I've underestimated Owen Richards. That's the most insightful comment he's made in class for a while. He just said, "It must suck being a teacher. I'd never be stupid enough to be a teacher." And there is the real tragedy. Owen Richards, who cannot write a word without a capital letter in the middle, has already realised at the tender age of 14 years and 5 months, what I've only just come to realise at my not so tender age, that no one in their right mind would be a teacher in today's world. Because for every gold star, there are 1,000 dark skies. From the kids to the parents to the senior leaders. And let's not forget the government. That's why I'm quitting. I start my job as manager of Aldi next month.